How you guys doing? Everybody's been calling me, blowing me up. Who's going to win the fight this weekend? Is it going to be Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather? Well, me as having been a boxer, a kickboxer, and a mixed martial artist, I'm going to tell you that I have to unfortunately go with Mayweather on this one. Number one, the longest Conor McGregor has ever fought, and it was one time. It was against one of the Diaz brothers, and he went the distance. That's 25 minutes in the ring, right? Only one time, and was beyond exhausted. In the MMA ring, you got a lot, or in the cage, you got a lot of room to play around. In the boxing ring, it's a lot smaller ring, less room to move around, especially when you're fighting a tactician like Floyd Mayweather. That's nothing more than 8 rounds. So I'm predicting that Mayweather, 25 minutes, at 3 minutes a round, it's about 8 rounds. So I'm predicting that Mayweather knocks him out between the 6th and 8th round. Off of 2 factors. Number 1, fatigue. Number 2, continual movement and shots scored on Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is going to look worse against Mayweather than Arturo Gatti did. He's going to do him worse than he did Diego Corrales. And you remember, he dropped Diego Corrales about 5 times in the first 7 rounds. This fight is going to be that type of fight. People who say, well, Mayweather hasn't scored a knockout in a long time. That's true. But you got to understand also, Mayweather has won titles in 5 different weight divisions, and he established himself as a pro in the 130-pound weight class. His finesse and style and skill has not decreased by any means. However, the guys he is fighting are bigger, which are capable of taking a harder shot. Conor McGregor has been hit a lot in every one of his fights. And remember, he's been even seen bleeding in as early as the 1st and the 2nd round of an MMA match. Which, let's say they both went the distance. Let's say they was 2 5-minute rounds. That's 10 minutes. That's 3 boxing rounds. 3 boxing rounds. 3 boxing rounds. And you already saw signs of fatigues and cuts on his face. So I'm predicting that at that rate, in 6 to 8 rounds, you're going to see Conor McGregor fade dramatically, be cut, be hit a lot, and become an easy target. Not only that, his footwork is flawed, immensely flawed. He doesn't know proper technique on how to throw punches. He has a heavy left that he could throw straight, but his ability to flow in combinations is horrible. And for those of you who don't think Mayweather could take a shot, Conor McGregor is not nearly as strong as some of the opponents that Mayweather has fought. And I'm going to name a couple just to enlighten you. Diego Corrales. Diego Corrales can hit. He was a monster back in the day. Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto's no slouch. Some of the toughest body hits and hardest headshots you'll ever see from a Hispanic boxer at 147. Marquez. Marquez is still considered one of the best boxers, pound for pound, in the WBC and the WBA. Canelo Alvarez is a full load, a horse. That man was almost at 172 pounds when he fought Mayweather and still couldn't phase him. Sugar Shane Mosley. Sugar Shane Mosley hurt Mayweather because he walked into a shot, but after that was nullified. Because the key thing to knocking somebody like Mayweather out is clean, clear combinations, continual hits. It's not going to happen. Conor McGregor lacks the skill and the ability to put together a combination of more than 2 shots to score on Mayweather. Ricky Hatton. We all saw what happened there. He took him into deep waters, and in round 11, he let loose on him and knocked him out. Manny Pacquiao. It looked like a dancing match. Yeah, it wasn't clean at all. But he nullified somebody who was supposed to be the man to defeat him. And some people will argue that Manny Pacquiao was washed up at the time. He's the same age, all right? He's the same age, and let's face it, I think Manny Pacquiao been shooting roids for a minute because he's the only fighter I know to start off in the 120s and go up in weight class and not lose one of the 3. He didn't lose his stamina, he didn't lose his speed, and he didn't lose his power. He actually gained all 3, which tells me he was probably on a substance enhancement drug, and he refused to get piss tested back in the past, in his earlier days, to fight Mayweather. So, and I'm not a Mayweather fan, guys. I'm a fighter fighting. I'm a fan of boxing, kickboxing, and MMA, as I practice all 3. And I give a neutral opinion here. Here's their heights. Conor McGregor's 5'9", Floyd Mayweather's 5'8". The reach on Conor McGregor is 74 inches. The reach on Mayweather is 2 inches. 2 inches ain't gonna be much to fight somebody in the caliber of Mayweather. I say this fight will end in 6 to 8 rounds, and it's going to be a lopsided victory on the side of Mayweather. The fact that they agreed to smaller gloves makes it even more dangerous for Conor McGregor. People say, yeah, Mayweather's broken his hands a bunch of times. Why? Because of his technical accuracy. The man can hit repeatedly in the same spot without missing while still making you miss. I think Conor's going to get overly anxious and try to push the pace on this man, and it's only going to make him look worse. It's going to expose how horrible his footwork is. He's not going to be able to move in the angular fashion that Mayweather can, and Mayweather's going to put him to sleep, guys. So if you want the true bet, bet Mayweather. The only way Conor can even beat Mayweather is if Mayweather doesn't train. And with as much trash talk and hype is around this fight, I guarantee you he's going to put on the most spectacular debut you've ever seen a boxer put on. Now, some people mentioned, how about when James Toney fought Randy Couture? That was a totally different aspect. And number one, it didn't look like James Toney even attempted to fight him. Number two, Randy Couture was smart. He took him down to the ground. He took him out of his water, out of his element, you know, which is what Mayweather's going to do to Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor will destroy Mayweather if they fought an MMA match. Because he would just, if I coached him, I would say, take out his legs with leg kicks, stuff knees in him, hit him with elbows, make him uncomfortable the first round, put a high pace of knees, elbows, kicks all over his body, and then rounds 2 or 3, try to choke him out and knock him out. But that is not the case. This is a pugilist sport. And some of the people are saying, well, maybe Conor may slip and hit him with an elbow or a kick. Guess what? There's a $100 million purse. The most that man has ever seen, all right? He's a hungry fighter. He's never seen that amount of money. Should he foul him or do anything that's not a boxing technique, he loses that money. So guess what he's going to stick to? He's going to be welcomed rudely into the sport of pugilism. All right, to all my boxers, kickboxers, and MMA fighters out there, keep training. Take care, brush your hair. This is Nelson the Tyrant LeBron. You wanted my fight opinion, that's what's going to happen. Mayweather in 6 to 8 rounds knocks Conor McGregor out. Take care, brush your hair. Peace.